Hey, today in the Secret Kitchen, we're making a chocolate chip snacking cake. A snacking cake is easy. It's one layer, minimal fuss, not much to do, but maximum impact on taste. This is a chocolate chip. It's got chocolate chips, nuts, and it's got some espresso powder in there for an extra little punch of flavor. Stay tuned because I'm making this for you right now. Hey, welcome to Secret Kitchens of New Jersey. So today I'm making another version of a snacking cake. This is my chocolate chip snacking cake. And this is the other snacking cake that my family just goes crazy for. Because again, you never know when you're going to have a snack attack. And we said a snacking cake is something that uses pretty simple ingredients, one pan, one layer, minimal fuss, and in the oven, and it's done. All right, so this is my chocolate chip snacking cake. Again, all the recipe, all the info down below. So it does start with some streusel, and I've got some flour, some brown sugar. I'm going to add a pinch of salt, because you know we salt whether it's savory or sweet. And then I've got about, it's like 3 or 4 tablespoons of butter. All right, because you know that's how you do streusel. And I'm going to use my fork to break this all up. You could use your fingers, but I'm using a fork. You could use a pastry cutter, which I probably should have done, but I'm doing it the hard way. All right, so I have my streusel kind of nicely crumbed up. I've got the butter nicely incorporated in this. I want to do one last thing though to the streusel. This is kind of an option. I want to add some, this is my chocolate chip snacking cake, and I'm going to add a little bit of espresso powder. Now I know not everybody is going to have this, and that's okay. I'll call this an optional ingredient. But espresso, coffee flavor sort of enhances the flavor of chocolate. And if you don't have espresso powder and you want to kind of get the same flavor, if you've got some instant coffee crystals, you can kind of grind them down and you could add them. So a lot of times when I do streusel, I would add some cinnamon, but I'm going to add this coffee flavor. Smells good. I mean, I'm a lover of coffee flavor, and coffee a little bit is a great flavor enhancer. All right, let's put this aside. All right, so now I've got my I've got some white sugar, some brown sugar, a stick of softened room temperature butter. You can see, nice and soft. Okay. All right, camera wants to have a look at that. All right, so it's in there. And what we're going to do with our mixer is we're, basically just blend this together. Whoops. Okay. All right, I blended it on low because, frankly, I don't want it flying all around the kitchen. And the next thing we're going to do is I have 1 egg. Everything is at room temperature here. 1 egg. And in addition to the 1 egg, I'm going to add a little bit of vanilla. If you don't have vanilla, you can leave it out. But again, vanilla, a really wonderful flavor enhancer for chocolate. All right, so beating this on low. All right, let's just scrape down the bowl. All right, so now what we're doing is I've got my my flour. A little bit of butter overboard. So I have some flour, and to my flour first I need a little bit of salt in this as well. Again, all the ingredients, don't worry about that. I've got some baking powder. I need 2 teaspoons of baking powder. You know, there is a huge difference between baking powder, baking soda. You cannot substitute one for the other. And then I am taking some chocolate, And I'm going to take a heaping teaspoon of cocoa powder. I am going to sift it because cocoa powder always has a tendency to have lumps, and you do not want that. So that was a heaping teaspoon of cocoa powder, right? And the other thing that I'm going to do in here as well is I'm going to add a little bit of the espresso powder in here. All right, now let's give this a whisk together. Get it in here. Going to kind of get this, start this. You actually could do this by hand if you want to. You don't have to use the mixer. Just use a little elbow grease. I do have some milk here. I wanted to do half. I'll do half now. And let me get this. All right, this is a pretty thick mixture, as you can see, and you can also kind of see the color. Let's finish this off by hand. Okay, so now all we're going to do, this is an option, but because this is my chocolate chip snacking cake, I don't really think of it as an option. I'm going to add some nuts because, you know, in my family we always like to add nuts to things, probably about a half a cup or so. And naturally, we have to add some chocolate chips. Whatever kind of chocolate you want. And let's just give this a stir. And then this will get in the pan. My oven is preheating to 350. Very simple. All right, let's get our pan. I have some parchment paper, obviously, because I want to be able to get this out later. This is a thick batter. It's not going to just pour right out. Let's get this in the pan. You're going to need to spread it out a little bit because it is so thick. And then the last thing we're going to do is, I'm going to use my offset spatula. The last thing we need to do is just put the streusel on top and get it right in the oven. All right, I'm just smoothing it out a bit. It does not have to be perfect, because the whole idea here of a snacking cake, it should be very simple. Okay. Perfect. Streusel is right here. Just going to use my fingers, kind of smush this up a little bit more, and just, you know, top it on the cake. It's all going to bake right in. Okay, that's it. This is going in the 350 oven for anywhere from, I'm going to say 40 to 50 minutes. Again, everyone's oven is going to differ, so I'm going to check it at 40 minutes and see how it is, and can't wait to show you when it's done, all right, in the oven. All right, this is done, and I've got to let it cool for a few minutes before we can even touch it, but a few things I just wanted to point out to you. First of all, you know, this was in the oven about 52 minutes. Took a while. And some of the clues, this is hot, to know when something is done, you know, there's a firmness when you touch it. And also that I can see, I don't know if you can see that, it has pulled away from the edges of the pan. Plus, I always have my little skewer, and when I poke it, it comes out. I mean, there's some crumbs on here from and the chocolate chips, but it comes out relatively clean. There's nothing wet, all right? So let's just wait a couple of minutes and I'll show you what it looks like on the inside and we'll taste it. All right, this cake has finally cooled down. As I said earlier, it was baking for about 52 minutes, and that will vary, but it's beautiful looking, smells heavenly. Let's cut a piece so we can, I want to show you and the camera what it looks like on the inside. It's still warm. I think that put a little vanilla ice cream on this, and you know, let the camera have a good look before I even cut into it. It smells wonderful. Get like, you can see it, it's, well here, let me turn that around for the camera. All right, so let's see. I'm getting a little bit of the chocolate, a little bit of the mocha. I've got the chocolate and the nuts in here. You know, if you're nut adverse, if that's a thing, then, you know, just don't do the nuts. But we like nuts. It's delicious. You have this beautiful streusel on the top. It's filled with chocolate chips. It's filled with nuts. Has a wonderful flavor. Easy to do. Super easy to do. So I hope you'll give this a try. And you know what? Please continue to like and subscribe. You keep me inspired, and I appreciate that. And we will see you next time on Secret Kitchens of New Jersey. Bye, everyone.